Welcome back to another episode of Who Am I to Judge? I am Alexis.
And I am Samantha. How are you?
Good. I just finished eating a chocolate covered apple, as you saw, and I'm very happy about it. It was homemade, y'all. Like, I sliced an apple, melted some chocolate, dipped it in it with a stick, but put cinnamon, peanut butter, and peanuts on it. It was phenomenal. So I'm very happy about that. It was a pretty chill day. I had I actually talked to a potential employer, so that was fun.
Okay, yes.
And then what else did I do? Obviously I went to work later, which was like, oh, whatever. And then now I'm here, so I'm happy.
And I was going to ask you, I was like, how was work? Because I know we both were like at work today.
But yeah, it was an interesting day. And so I'm just happy to be done because it was a chill day, but an interesting day because I was with the first and second graders and they were just kind of annoying. But anyway, how are you?
Oh, I'm good. I feel a little all over the place coming to the podcast. Like I was just running behind. I like did my nails before and then they were like popping off like while I was like coming to do this and just trying to get ready. And I know you are a stickler for time.
I am. Just for y'all who know me, don't know me,
Yeah.
I care about being punctual.
And I try, like Alexis knows like I know the things that annoy her. So I try to like be better about that, like since I know that she's annoyed with time stuff. But since we're doing something every week at a time, like I feel like you're starting to see how I really am.
Well, we're hoping this is the third week in a row, y'all. No, this is our fourth episode. So the fourth week in a row, y'all, that she has not been ready.
That's not true.
So we're hoping, and
that's not true because remember that one where you like changed the time. But anyways, but yeah,
she wasn't on time for that. So hopefully next week will mark the new officially. This is a month. Would it be a month of?
Oh my god!
Who Am I to Judge? Wow,
that's amazing. We're on our fourth week. But yeah, I'm adjusting to our new schedule. Okay, and I'm ADHD for those out there, so y'all know that time blindness is real. But anyways, I'm working on it, and I will be on time next week.
How much you want to bet? How much money you want to bet on that? I'll bet. Okay, let's put some money on it.
Oh, I need some money.
She'll actually show up, I think, at that point.
Oh, yes, I will. Once we get them ad dollars, I'm going to be here saying my part. But,
Hello, Fresh is brought to you by
Exactly. But no, my day's been cool. I worked. I did a yoga class, like the perks of working at a yoga studio. I did a class and, yeah, it's been a chill day so far.
I'm happy that you had a chill day, but also went to work and made that money, which is awesome. Yes. I just want to say, like, for people watching on YouTube, I don't usually wear my hair like this. This is like a banding thing, and I sleep with my hair like this with adorable. The bonnet. So just don't think that I'm like walking around looking like.
Even if pigtails. You did, you would be cute. But I just think Alexis is adorable. But anyways,
well, let's get to it. Who's on trial this week, Samantha?
Okay. I'm gonna bring up to the courtroom. I'm like imagining the Martin episode, but we need to bring these girlies from Potomac to come to the stand. Okay. Robyn, Giselle,
yes,
Ashley,
yes,
we're calling you guys up. If for those of you that don't know or don't watch, the Real Housewives of Potomac just wrapped up I don't even know what season was it, eighth season or something.
Their 8th season.
Yeah, and I have a problem with those girls. But anyway, what were we gonna say?
I was gonna say, yeah, they just wrapped up their 8th season. They just finished their 3-part reunion, and also I feel like we're talking about this on the heels of finding out that Candace is not coming back. Robyn Dixon is fired. Candace is pregnant and having a baby, and allegedly NECA is fired and not coming back. So
NECA is not coming back. Why'd you say
because
allegedly?
it's not, Bravo hasn't put it out yet. It's been like this like blog has.
Say no.
Well, what are your thoughts? Like, tell me your thoughts, if like any, if you have, on the reunion, but also like them not coming back and everything.
I mean, in terms of the reunion, these women infuriate me.
Yes, yes.
It is just so hard to watch, like, these sensitive topics just being handled with such
people who don't have the range. Wendy said it perfectly.
Yeah, they do not have the range. Yes, and I at least appreciate that we got that like it wasn't like a total loss of like just Mia and Robyn and the light skinned girls just like dominating, because that's what they usually do. It's just like, oh, excuse me, like I don't know about that, and it's just like, can we listen to Candace's experience and like see what she's telling me? Yeah, and I mentioned this in a past episode, like I cannot believe, well, I can believe it, but it's crazy that this fight they're trying to blame Candace or let her take some of the responsibility.
That infuriated me.
For talking, for like, this person said something to me and I responded, and you don't get to tell me how I respond. I didn't touch this woman. I didn't say hit me. I didn't say anything like that, and like I'm still getting the blame. So yeah, I'm just glad that Robyn is leaving. I'm sorry. I just gonna wrap up my thoughts. I'm glad Robyn is leaving. Giselle is so annoying, and just she really does bring the vibe of the showdown. It's like we can't get anywhere because we keep on just being annoying. But anyways, okay, let me pass it to you and see what you got to say.
I just feel like, many things. You brought up so many things that I want to touch on. I feel like with Candace, I feel like I said this earlier in the episode, she's the most unprotected housewife. And I feel like we see that in many ways, in many types of microaggressions. And
so many.
I feel like it was like on a platter for us to see how unprotected she was at this last like third part reunion, especially when she was getting blamed. She was getting blamed for the fight, and as if it was her fault that she got attacked. And I'm just like, that to me showed how evil Giselle was as a woman, because I'm like, God. I don't care if you don't like somebody. At the end of the day, you're an adult. You're a whole ass almost you're 50-something-year-old woman with 3 daughters. You're telling me you cannot set aside your feelings for this person and be a human and just show that like your compassion, your empathy, and the fact that and I feel like that just shows how deeply evil this woman is. Secondly, I felt so bad for Candace, because I was like, she was moved to Cheers, because it was just like, I feel like it was just like, her realizing
they're never gonna get it. They're
never gonna get it, and how unprotected she was. I have a lot of things to say, because I feel like Candace, they need Candace in Potomac. She's messy. She has a smart mouth. She's in the music industry. She's a pageant girly. She's in love. She's actually married. She actually comes from money. She's interesting. She's funny. She can dress. She hangs around with Victoria Monet and people like that. So they need her. The fact that they drove her out, and from the minute she came in there, they treated her so disrespectfully, I have a problem with. And the last thing I'll say about it is, I find it to be very strange that their biggest issue with Candace in the beginning, the first couple seasons, was that she was spoiled. I find that to be strange, specifically because why on earth? Again, this kind of links to last week about like, it's like, why are you trying to flex that you're so hood and and you went to jail, as if that's a good thing? Why on earth, as Black people, are we hating on someone or shitting on someone and straight up bullying someone from coming from wealth? That is the weirdest thing to be mad at someone for. White people all the time have generational wealth, and none of us bat an eye, and white people don't clown each other about coming from generational wealth, because it's a good thing that your parents were able to set you up and then pass it on to you, and hopefully you keep that on for generations. Why on earth, knowing the wealth gap, the income gap, all these things between black and white people, that finally when a black person comes from wealth, that is immediately bullied and shamed upon. For me, that was a little bit whack. And then for people on Twitter, specifically black Twitter, to come after Candace too and jump on the bandwagon with the light skinned girls, that was insane to me. All of those women, and this I got from Carlos King, like he said this, all of those women are raising little Candaces. All of those women are setting like have wealth. They're making in the 7 figures for these seasons, and they are going to
Right.
pass that wealth down to their kids. Why on earth is it a problem for
Can-
Candace to come from generational wealth? However, you're setting your kids up for the same path and want to do that. To me, it screams hater. It screams hater. It screams a lot of other things that y'all wanted to map on this dark skinned girl. And to me, y'all are clowns.
Can
and
I tell you who I think this all comes down to?
What?
Ashley.
Mm-hmm. Ashley's a hater.
Ashley, the only reason why the girls didn't like her is because, first of all, they didn't like Giselle and Robyn are just like, they just give like nasty spirits. Like they really need to heal their unhappiness and not fake like they're like living their best life when we know that they're not. But it's like, I feel like, so when Ashley came on the scene, they were looking at her crazy too.
But we all were looking at Ashley crazy with that nasty 60-year-old man who's grabbing people's butts. Ashley, you are a clown.
Oh
and I'll say
God.
it every time.
Okay, so let me not lose my thought. But yeah, like I feel like Ashley, because they have had, obviously her and Candace have had this like, well, Ashley has had this like tension with Candace, because I truly feel like when Candace came on the show, she wasn't like looking for a problem with Ashley.
No, she was a friend of Ashley. Ashley brought her on the show.
Right. And so I feel like that is what seeded, because Ashley was the one that was always bringing up her living in her mom's house. Like I feel like she just seeds these little things, and then Giselle and Robyn like are like, oh yeah, like. But
my question is, why was that an issue? Why is it an issue for a black person to come from money? Why is that?
Alexis,
why is that something she should feel bad about?
I don't know.
I'm sick.
I think that is like, especially because Ashley is dependent on somebody that is not her blood or damn
of somebody that literally could cut her off in a second and she'd be on the street. That's how crazy this is. It's like, you literally, this woman came from money. That's exactly what it is. This woman came from money in a healthy manner that her wealthy parents allowed, like, were able to pass that down to her. You literally are only able to have this access to even housewives due to a 60-year-old man when you met him when you were 20, that's why who said, quit your job and come with me.
That's why I feel like the Potomac girls, like I'm realizing in this moment, like it's just so much immature, the stuff they're talking about. And it gives it magnifies, it puts a magnifying glass on like the issues of the black community that we can't even get over. These like, I'm like, they're not, they literally do not talk about this on Beverly Hills. They're not like, I remember the episode when Lisa Rinna's daughter was like looking for her apartment. Like she was like, it has to have this, and like I need a gate up to here. Like it was just like, it was normal. Nobody's shaming anybody for like setting up their kids. Like it's very normal for
their parents to help them out. They're filthy rich.
But it's not even it's not a topic.
Right.
And so it's just like, so it just goes to show like where these women are specifically, because I feel like those of us with like, a just like an iota of whatever, it's just like we kind of get that like this isn't normal, I guess, or this isn't all the way correct. But I mean, I don't know, maybe it isn't. Maybe this is normal within our community.
I just feel like even if it's not normal, there's there's nothing negative about generational wealth. We all hope that we can acquire generational wealth for our family and move that forward. You know what I'm saying? Like there's nothing negative about it. So like the idea that now, even if this is the first person they ever met with generational wealth and their parents are paying their mortgage and they're able to live a soft life and continue to make money, they should be embracing it. They should not be hating on it. They should be like, you know what? That's why we're here on TV, to make this big fat ass check, and hopefully we'll be able to do that for our kids. There is no world where these women are going to cut off their kids. You know what I'm saying? Like these women are making seven figures. You know what I'm saying? They're literally raising little Candaces. To me, it just screams so many different problems. And the last thing I'll say is shame on Andy, because I'm like, at a certain level, you are responsible. You are their boss. You're responsible for keeping a healthy work environment and not a toxic and hostile work environment. At the end of the day, you should be concerned that one of your employees was assaulted by a friend of another employee.
Right.
Period. Even if we're not even talking about drama.
Even
you
we're
should
not
be worried.
About colorism,
right?
Or like, you know,
you should be concerned. So the fact that you then would go on national TV and allow one of your employees to then say they deserved it is it's like beyond foul.
God. Yeah.
And so I'm just happy that Candace left, because I can't imagine, for how unprotected she is, I would
God.
She would like, the baby would be at harm's way if she just stayed on this for another season and filmed with people like that. Giselle is an evil human.
Because I'm proud of her because I feel
so
like
Ashley.
I think she was pregnant during the recording.
Yes, she was. She was. So like, and this is the last thing I'll say, and then we can continue to talk about Potomac or move on. But like, Robyn Dixon, I'm happy she's fired, because she brought nothing to the season, and for 8 seasons. And then the one season when you were queued up to be the queen bee, to have the season of your dreams, to be first chair, to even potentially keep it going for another season, you flopped. Juan Dixon does not love you. And I'm not trying to be shady. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm trying to be like, black woman to black woman. Juan Dixon does not care about you or love you. The fact that he cheated on you so egregiously, then made you seem like a fool by feeding you this bullshit story and you believing it, having you to go and sit down on a one-on-one with Andy to defend his actions, to then only show up one time this season on camera, and not to even show twice. I'm sorry, twice on camera, and then to not even show up to the reunion when he knows you were going to be asked about this cheating stuff.
Oh my God, this was the one to come to.
A terrible, terrible husband. And secondly, Robyn, you are not cut out for reality TV. You clearly cannot take it when the spotlight's on you, because I'm like, why did you not spend this whole season showing us your marriage? Like, bringing this man here, talking about the cheating, talking about how y'all have redeemed it and now you're in a healthy place, talking about your communication, talking about how you felt.
This is what I tell
This
Alexis.
is insane.
But this is what I always tell Alexis. I'm like, that's not happening behind the scenes.
Why? So they just don't talk, you think, when they get home?
I mean, they might talk, but it's not about like, I think that behind closed, like from what we see on camera, Juan is so dismissive of Robyn. So I feel like the repair, what is repair? You know, like, so what does that mean? They're not going to.
Do you think that he told her, like, you know, I didn't cheat on her. The receipt from the hotel was just me paying for it, and I left, and she just said okay, and that was it?
They probably had a fight or something. They probably have had a couple discussions, but it doesn't go past where it needs to. It's just a bunch of hemming and hawing, and Juan Dixon saying like, I don't know, Robyn. Like, I don't know. Like, you know, like, it is not, they're not like going to therapy. There was nothing to see. If we would have saw more, she would have been more embarrassed.
Do you think she's okay with that? Like, you think she's happy and satisfied and feels like Alexis, fine with that?
No, and her heart of hearts, I know, Rob. The way she broke down crying on this reunion, I don't even. What was she start crying about? I don't even remember. But that face, I was just like, "Girl, you are in a lot of pain. You really need some healing."
Do you think that she contributes her pain to Juan, or you think that she just thinks it's her?
I think she's living in a lot of denial right now. So I don't think she maybe pinpoints where everything is coming from, because
Mm.
I think she's obviously in denial about her marriage. So if that's the case, then it's like she doesn't really know this. Like, I don't know if she really knows the source of her unhappiness. Like, maybe she does have like some idea of like her self-worth,
Mm. Do
but
you
yeah.
think that they'll stay together after her firing?
You guys should see how I'm looking at Alexis. I'm like, no. We literally have, for those of you that do not watch Potomac, there is a clip of Juan Dixon saying like, if it wasn't for the kids, I would have already been left. Like, I don't like, I want to be happy. I don't want to do this. He had his hot mic on saying this to a producer. Like, Jupiter. Oh my god. Sorry guys.
It's okay. We all have our dogs.
Whatever. This is just like the Mercury retrograde is really fucking with me right now. Anyways, but yeah, it's like we have that clip of him, so it's like I just don't know. Like, yeah, they're not gonna be together after this. They're not gonna be. Like, I feel like, and I've even say, even if they do stay together, I think once the kids are grown, he's gonna leave. But I saw one of my friends tweet, who might be listening to this. They were like, Juan is already moving in with his like girlfriend, like his other girlfriend. And I'm just like, true. Like, that's sad but true. And it's just like, I really want better for people, but it's just like I just when I see people that are like that's like I have like I'm a human, I'm an empathetic human. So I just always go to like a like that person must be really sad inside. And so I feel bad for that part of them. But I also am just like I just when I come across people that just are that just have that like internal little like evilness to them. I just don't
You talking
understand
about
what that
Juan?
is. No, I'm talking about Giselle and Robyn.
I think
Like the
Giselle has.
way
This is what I think.
Giselle was like at this reunion is so funny because she's not being totally quiet. Like you remember at like the other reunions, like Giselle has just she'll like be like mute and just
Sat
take
in a
it.
corner and gets dragged. That's what she
Yes.
normally does.
And bless she better be happy that Candace was pregnant because I could tell that Candace was holding like, you know, she wasn't
Well, did you see
going
the
in.
interview that Candace had with E News? She was basically said that like Andy before the reunion asked Candace to like tone it down and to hold back.
Okay. So yeah,
So like
she
you're literally
did.
watching that.
So yeah, so I predicted that, right? Hold on.
Well, this is my thing. I think for Robyn and Giselle, I feel like they're the classic like girls who have always been beautiful their whole lives and have always been like desired by men and even women wanting to be their friend and around them and associated with them. And just hear me out. I
I'm
feel like
listening. I'm
like
following you.
I feel like those type of people sometimes don't have to develop empathy, don't have to develop like compassion with other people outside of their family. Obviously they don't have to develop that because at the end of the day they're constantly getting poured into regardless. Like they could be mean to you and you still want to date
Right.
them. They could be mean
Right.
to you, you still want to be their friend. So I feel like these type of women evil, like they become very evil adults because they grow up to be adults who have no compassion, no empathy. They expect people to just bow at their whim because that's all they've been given. And
I
one thing that
guess like
reminds me, sorry, this is the last thing I just wanted to say, like one thing that like makes me believe that is because I don't know if you remember, but a couple years ago when Erica Erica Gleiss, whatever her name was, that like Giselle brought her friend on,
I don't even
named
remember her.
Erica, and like just remember her and Karen got in a fight, and she was like, because Ray was looking at Erica, like
Oh yes,
so like
yeah.
that girl did a confessional, and she talked about how she met Giselle at Hampton, when she wanted to pledge AKA, and Giselle was evil, but she was walking around the campus and she owned the campus. Like she was the thing, she was the it girl on campus, and she was evil, and she was scared to even talk to Giselle. And when she did talk to Giselle said something about like her being ugly. Like it was like that was the first thing she said. And now they laugh about it and they're friends. But I say that to say that type of person, like take like walk like people, she was having people bow down to her at a HBCU, that like beautiful black men, beautiful black women, like this girl has not ever had to be a real human, you know what I'm saying? And so I feel like she probably is very empty inside, and that's why she's able to do this.
That's what I was gonna say. I'm like, because then I'm like, yes, absolutely yes. And then I'm like, on her end, but she knows that that is so surface, and that people are not loving her because of who she actually is. It's like this superficial thing. And I feel like that must, like, to have all that and to still like, have, like, I don't want to say failed relationships, but like not have, all the things that I'm sure that she wants. Like she's divorced and got this crazy ex-husband, like pastor. And it's like, I don't know. I feel like I 100% agree. I think she is still, I mean, I know to this day, she's benefiting from her pretty light skin privilege.
Look how she gets
what
treated.
I'm saying, Alexis, you know that I agree with you, but I'm just saying that I feel like I just know that these women, when they're by themselves and are like having to really look at themselves in the mirror,
sorry,
I don't think they're happy with
absolutely
themselves.
not. Absolutely not. I mean, how can you be? Giselle has probably very few real deep, vulnerable friendships. She probably has a couple friendships with other pretty light-skinned girls that's very like girl,
Robyn.
yeah, like, but I'm talking deep, vulnerable, where she can cry and be a person like you and me.
Yeah.
Very few. And I feel like that is very empty. And then she doesn't have, not that like having a man is everything, but she doesn't even have like a person she can turn to in that kind of capacity. He cheated on her. What does she call him? Cheater, pumpkin eater. And then yeah, she's just, I don't know, it's really sad, but it's like, I feel like at the end of the day, Potomac ultimately lost, because it's like the people that, like, for example, like Candace, y'all needed her. She was a gem to this.
This is going to be an expose. People are going to look back on this and be like, this is like colorism 101, people. Like, this is literally what not to do. Like, it's crazy. I just can't believe that.
And I'm curious how next season will go with Robyn, Candace, and Nneka Garn.
Okay.
Well, just because it's like, what is Giselle without Robyn? I'm very curious. Exactly. So that's
I'm very curious about that too.
Because Karen and her aren't like that. I think she's gonna try to be fake nice with Karen, but it's like Karen and her are not like that. So it's just like, unless Giselle brings in somebody, who are you without Robyn? I'm curious.
And I'm just like Mia, like, because Mia also holds, I feel like, a key.
Mia is the season.
She be going back to, this is scary, like Mia having like a season, like I'm like, what the hell are we in for? Like, she gonna be all over.
Mia is queued up to be the it girl. Everything will revolve around
her. I know,
her.
she was all hugging Andy, and like they were just
I mean, she's the best steward. She's the best storyline. Like, everyone's gonna be invested to see her and her boyfriend and her husband.
It's just like, it's just her knowing that she has this much power. Like, Mia
absolutely.
She just be doing crazy shit.
But there's something I like about Mia.
And I'm not mad at Mia. I do feel like Mia, sometimes when she be speaking up at the reunions, I'm like, what?
It's a bad take.
What side are you on?
It's always a bad take.
That's what I need to know.
It's always a bad take, but I think that's because at the end of the day, she's also she's also blinded and doesn't have the range. At the end of the day, Mia is a pretty light-skinned girl.
Right.
She
Oh my
shares
God.
lived experiences with
Yeah.
Robyn
She
and
gets
Giselle.
triggered and she says something just like
Right. So
Ashley.
she
Yeah.
is thinking, how
She
are
can't
we
just
being
sit and
colorist? You
listen.
know, how are we, she doesn't have the range, and she also cannot at all have empathy. And she also probably has gotten treated just like Giselle and Robyn have their whole lives, being pretty light skinned girls. It's just sad. I feel like the problem with Potomac from the beginning was that they did not put a lot of brown skin and dark skinned girls in from the jump. And this is their blind spot. And I
Yeah.
think it was the colorism, like, things were able to go away, not really emerge in the first couple seasons, because the majority of them were light skinned. I don't
Yeah.
think there was any dark skinned person but Charisse, but they left, they were whatever with Charisse. She eventually got booted off after the second season.
Charisse wasn't at the reunion. I'm just
But then guess
noticing
what?
that.
Oh yeah. But then when Monique comes, the brown skinned girl, hell hits the fan, So I mean, it just, I don't know. I'm over
they could
it.
not take it. They could not take Monique. Oh my
an
God.
actually wealthy person. And so I don't know. I'm just kind of over Potomac. I probably won't be watching next season because I loved Candace. I pray for Wendy and her mental health
I think
for
you're
next
gonna
season.
watch. I think we're gonna be talking about this. You're gonna be like, what is Giselle gonna do? Like,
well, this is my thing. I'll end it with this. I pray for
Alexis. We try to preach out here. I'll end it with this.
But for real though, like, I pray for Wendy's mental health next season. Seriously. Because her being the only dark-skinned person
is Kierna
left,
coming? We need Kierna on the couch.
We need Kierna
we
back.
need her with
I'm like,
on the show
as the only dark-skinned woman potentially coming back. I can't imagine how they will treat her. And so I just pray, and then without any allies, I pray for her mental health, because I do think it will be a pretty rough season for her.
Oh my God. I really hope that they bring Kierna on the show. Is that her name? How to say it?
Yeah, Kierna, but I don't know if they'll bring her back because she fought.
Right. Well, they need to bring somebody on the damn show. Like, this is a weak ass cast we have. Like, we cannot just have Mia, Wendy, Ashley, and Giselle. Like, and Karen. Like, forget about Karen. But yeah, it's sad. They need to take a little break, honestly, and just they need to take some classes. They need to rebrand. They need to take a break, because like at this point, y'all are doing more harm than good. This is the third reunion that we've tried to talk about colorism, and it gets worse.
I'm glad Wendy stopped it. I'm glad Wendy stopped it and said, let's not even open the can of worms, because half of us don't have the range to even talk about it. So let's just not bring it up. Like, let's let it be in the room.
Be quiet. Just can't listen. Like, God damn. Like, you're going to be rolling your eyes and changing the seat and shaking your head when, like, it's just, and it's sad because, like, nobody does that when, like, I feel like, yes, people do, like Candace will roll her eyes sometimes. But, like, when, like you said, like, when Giselle is sharing a human experience, like, we're able to keep your humanity intact. And then, like, Giselle's just not able to do that. It's weird. And I feel like Robyn too. Like, I feel like now Robyn is like done with Candace, and she just does not have anything for her. And it's just like, girl, who are you?
Have that energy for your cheating ass husband.
Right.
Okay? Have that energy for the man who literally flew a girl in from another country to come to a DoubleTree and to have sex with him. And he played you and said, oh, I was just, my credit card information there because she called me because she forgot her credit card in Canada.
She didn't have her credit card, so I had to drive up there.
Boo-boo the fool.
And put my credit card.
Embarrassing. And I just feel bad.
And then honestly, I was at the
let's talk about that.
Let's
talk about that. Like, just women who are stupid for a man, like, or stupid for your partner. Like, it's really sad. Like, women who just like allow men to just walk all over them, and for some reason the woman continues to stay by them, thinks their shit doesn't stink, like, puts the man, like, idolizes the man, puts him on a pedestal. I just don't understand that, especially when you're getting treated so poorly. Like, I don't understand being so stupid for somebody. It's so sad.
And I tell Alexis, like, one thing I feel like you guys will get to know about Alexis is that she just is like, I feel like you have had really healthy examples or something, or like you're just like a healthy person in relationship, or just have like a healthy self-esteem. Like you have not put up with just dumb shit. Like you just do not do that. And I feel like I mean there's so many things I could say to that, like of just like I do think there's just so many layers to that. Like I'm trying to see what I want to say.
Just like, what's the point of putting this person on a pedestal? You have friends. I don't know. It's interesting because, well, I don't know. It just made me think of this thing, and then you can kind of build off of this. Me and my friend Shahani were talking, and she was mentioning that she was talking to one of our mutual friends who is married. And this person, like, notoriously spends all the time with their wife, and like, just like, literally is just like, all spends all the time with their wife. And the person was saying to Shahani, like, well, it's just so great being married because you always have someone who's like has your back and is there for you and knows always going to have your back no matter what. And Shahani and me had a really good conversation about like the beautiful thing about pouring into other people than just your partner and putting your partner on this pedestal is that like you have that relationship with friends as well. Like you have many other people besides your partner to turn to that will have your back, that you can talk to about anything,
Mm-hmm.
yada yada yada. It is so sad to me when
It's
I
just
meet
not
women who
healthy.
don't have that, who just put their man on a fucking pedestal, and they're like, don't come for the marriage, like we don't talk about the marriage or whatever. And it's just like, why on God's earth is this person the prize, and you then allow yourself to be disrespected? Or
Yeah.
embarrassed. It's so sad.
I mean, I have a lot of thoughts like um I don't know how to like share this, but I'm currently in a 12-step program. Sex and Love Addicts Anonymous. And so I've been learning a lot about just love addiction. And I think a lot of people are set up, I think our society sets us up to prioritize romantic relationships over everything and to like fulfill their worth. And like, I don't think we're, I guess, taught to, I don't know, like there's just such an emphasis on finding the one and finding love
Mm-hmm.
and blah blah blah. And like um I just think it's a symptom of that. Like you don't think anything else is important. Like you only are
Mm-hmm.
concerned about love, and
Mm-hmm.
you're only you're putting this person on a pedestal. Like literally one of the characteristics is like you give like this person magical qualities and like get mad at them for like like not living up to them or whatever. And so I feel like
Mm-hmm.
and then I feel like people are also just codependent, like not able to be alone, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So like people are willing to deal with a lot of stuff out of fear of being alone and whatever. And yeah, like I feel like now I'm really like I always feel like I value my friendships and just in community really, because
Mm-hmm.
like I feel like I have like my close friends that I talk to, but I in the program like I'm talking to all these people and I'm able to like call them and able to just like call them and talk to them or whatever. So like it is literally like we cannot do this alone. Like it is all about community. And like it's like when you start to sober date as they call it, you have to make sure that you're living your life in a balanced way and not, you know, spending only time with a guy or whatever. And so I think it all comes down, like, really, what I'm trying to say is, like, it comes down to self worth. It comes down
Mm-hmm.
to childhood trauma. It comes down to, yeah, like your inner child being fucking scared and, like, making decisions for you that you might not really want to choose for yourself, but you are not really operating in your, I don't know, true state.
You always
And
like put things in perspective and allow me to think about, having empathy for these people. Because I have a couple people in mind and I'm just like, stand up. It's like, stop. Like, stand up. It's like, this person is like, stand up. Like, have your power. Stop being fucking submissive. Stop being suppressed. Like, stand up.
yeah,
You
it
are a
can be
grown
so
ass woman at this
frustrating.
point. You have kids. You have other responsibilities. This man is not the fucking prize. Also, don't you want to have friends? Don't you want to have people you could turn to and truly be vulnerable with? Don't you want to have a life outside of your husband? Don't you want to be able to go
Yeah.
out to eat and go in the movies and call somebody up on the phone like it's nothing and
And
laugh?
even if you
It's
have friends, it's still
strange.
just like, don't put this guy, like, don't make this person like just everything. Like, that's one thing I'm learning is just like, it's literally just not healthy to, one, you can't get your needs met by
Absolutely not.
anyone
By
on this
any
earth,
one person.
anyone on this earth. And even like, even just everybody. Like, I'm like, okay, I have my friends. And then I have like God or like my higher power or like something else that I turn to fill me up, because there's just literally, I can't, like, nobody has the medicine, that you're looking for. Like, you really have to one day, like, yes, you have friends, you have resources, you have community, thank God. And then you do have to be with yourself and be like, okay, like, I'm okay with myself and I can take care of myself. And it's fucking hard. Like, it is hard. Like, I'm doing it. I'm like breaking generational curses and like things in my family and stuff. And yeah, I guess I'm just grateful to be doing that. But I think it's also very normalized in our society. Like, I think people are, especially the generation before us, like, they, I don't know, they were just at an interesting time where, like, still people were just getting married. Like, that was just the thing to do. Not living in this time now where it's like, I mean, the dating pool is hell. And it probably was back then. But
It was. They just didn't
it's
have
just like
self-worth and
now.
they just married the first man that looked at them.
Yeah, because I feel like that was like the true
Sad.
maybe first awakening though. Like, because at one point, very recently, we didn't have the money to do it. Like, they were quite literally dependent on a man to do anything in this fucking
Some of them are
country.
still are the sad part.
And so that is trauma. Like, like that is things that people, we have to address, and it's like, it's frustrating and it is sad, but I'm learning also too, it's just like, you can't you can't change anybody. Like, you literally have to work on yourself and like have to let them do what they want, and it's very painful.
Mm,
Like, I
that's real.
like live up close and personal to these things, and it's like having to see it and like want different for this person. It's
Mm-hmm.
just, yeah, it's really hard. And it's like, you just like, please just stand up, it's like, come on. But
I'm just like, it's just funny
and you just
because,
root for them and you
yeah.
just pray for them. And like, I feel you, Alexis. Like, I feel like I know some people you're thinking of. And so it's just like, I can see how that is frustrating. And yeah, people need to we gotta look into SLA people.
But also
Like,
just like at a certain point, like, I don't
plug
know,
for
like,
that.
is like, I don't know, I have a lot of thoughts. Like, I guess I have two questions for you. It's like, when you get like when some I don't know, sometimes there's those tweets where it's like who gets the plate first, your husband or your kid, it's like for me, there's absolutely no world, any planet or any galaxy where I would put anyone, once I have kids, put any person before my kid.
Yeah.
They're a minor, they
Period.
need a adult to guide them. I can't imagine growing something in my stomach for 9 months and then to literally birth them and go through like such a like groundbreaking experience, and then to literally immediately when they come out, them be second place. They are a minor. This other person that I'm partnered with is a grown ass adult. They can take care of their fucking selves. There's this person, this infant, this minor needs me. It is wild to me that I see
Mm.
women putting their kids behind their husbands.
Yeah.
I find that to be stupid as shit. And it's like, and the amount of trauma that comes from it is just like for your on your child is like wild to me. And I've like
Yeah.
I've had conversations with a couple of people that I'm thinking of where I'm like, aren't you embarrassed to be with the person who behaves this way? Aren't you
They are,
shamed?
but they're, I mean,
What does it
I don't
move
think,
you?
I don't think shame is good. I mean, I feel like, honestly, I think shame, because I was going to say, it comes down to fear. It's like,
Mm,
they are so scared to, and it's scary what that emotion would make you do, like,
mm.
but I was going to say, like, I'm just all over the place because I'm like trying to remember. But yeah, I just think that I'm like blanking.
Well, I mean, it's just sad. And it's just like, I don't know. I just have a lot of anger towards these women because I was lucky enough to be like raised by a mother who like ran the house, who was like strong, who has a healthy, their relationship isn't perfect, but with my father, absolutely, I witnessed her being like, we're leaving him. He's taking too long. Bye. Or just like, or just like, no, we're not doing that. Like, he did not have the final say. He's not like
Yes,
controlling the finances.
definitely. We're
He's
blessed to
not
have
running the
that.
house. Like, my mother was like not subservient or submissive at
But
all.
Alexis,
So
that goes
seeing
to show
someone,
why
well, hold
you.
on. I just wanted to finish. Like,
But why does
seeing,
that make you angry? I
because
guess
I'm like,
because
plenty of,
you just said that
well,
you had this example. You know what I'm
it
saying?
makes me
Like,
angry to see people because I'm like, I know you can do it. Like I've seen it. It's not like this imaginary thing of like,
yeah, I
when are
agree.
women gonna get power one day? It's like I've
Hmm.
literally seen firsthand every day for 31 years a woman not like standing up. You know what I'm saying? Standing up.
Hmm.
And so, and also, there was never a minute in my life where I doubted that me and Akila did not come first,
Hmm.
And I will, this is a blessing that I will put on to my kids and further on. And it's just like so weird to me when I'm like, your kids did not ask to be brought into this world. So for you to come in, birth them because your selfish ass allowed this weird ass man to come in you.
Oh my
And
God,
now you have a
Alexis.
kid, and then you're gonna put this
Jesus.
person that didn't get asked to come into this earth behind this person. Wildly clownish behavior. And the person I'm thinking
Not
of, it's
clownish.
sad.
I mean, this is really like, I feel, I mean, I am that child. Like, I feel like it's hard to hear because it's just like, I agree with you. I'm, I guess, still figuring out how to sit with that reality, like that. um you know, I have been put behind like somebody before as like their child, and it's really fucked up. And I think yeah, I'm just grateful that I have found things that are helping me to not be in fucking
But do you
delusion and
think
not be in
these,
insanity about, putting anybody on a pedestal or
but
anything
like,
like
do you
that.
think these women, two questions. Do you think they have awareness that they're putting their kids second? And then secondly, do you think they're happy with that decision?
No, I think they have a lot of
Do you think they're
shame. At
aware?
least I think that they have become, well, it depends. Like, there's people that are still very much asleep. I feel like as a family unit, like, people kind of started awakening a little bit in my family. So like we're not all in this delusion, you know, like we're not all like just going along with this and like act like it's normal. It's like, okay, like this is fucked up. And like I'm like telling them that. Like, you know, like this is fucked up. So I feel like now they know. Like I don't know if like in those moments I truly, I mean, in my case, I truly believe it was like survival and like, yeah, I don't know. It's hard because right now I'm just thinking about me
Mm-hmm.
and not like just any old example or like young people that are doing this or whatever. It's like, um, yeah, I don't know. I
I
don't
don't
know how they
know.
make those decisions, but I do hear a lot of people in these meetings every day that are sick, that are doing that, that are like I don't know why I can't leave this man, like, you know, and
Mm.
it's like because he is validating something in you, like, you know, and it's
But it's also
just
just like, don't as a woman, do you want to make money and support the household? As a
that's
like, don't
Alexis.
you
The
want
sad thing is,
to
oh, some of these
have
people
control of your
are.
money?
I was listening to somebody. I'm like trying to remember if this was something I was listening to. It was like they were the breadwinner. Like it's fucked up. It's like there's a level. It can go to that point. It can go to the level of control where it's like you're making more money. You could, you know, like you literally, you know, could leave this person and be okay, but like they have
Mhm.
manipulated you to be scared or I don't know. I don't know, man.
It's
It's
just sad. I mean, I would
I
love
want
for
to know
the
who you're
all the
talking about.
I mean, don't say it, but just think about a potential woman in my life
I mean, I feel
who
like
is
I
like
know who
pretty
you're talking about.
subservient as a person.
We'll talk about it later.
I
But
feel like
yeah.
Robyn Dixon, we started this conversation with Robyn Dixon and then like expanded it out to like, oh, just like women who are stupid for a man. And
Yeah.
yeah, so just think about that. But I mean,
Yeah.
we would love the women out there. We love all our girlies who are stupid for a man to come and email us at our email. Cause
Alexis,
I do want to know like your thoughts. Like, and I'm not trying to be mean about it. I do want to know like
I want you to, I
what
hope that you
your,
find more compassion because I'm telling you that like and I appreciate that you are mad because I have anger too. You know,
mm-hmm,
like I appreciate you knowing that that is fucked up
mm-hmm,
and you know, like can validate that for me. But I do hope because just as I'm learning about trauma, I'm watching this like Jeanette McCurdy interview right now
mm-hmm,
and it's like her interview with Whitney Cummings and they're talking about just like trauma and like obviously, you know, Jeanette McCurdy's like mom's story, whatever. But just how they're learning how to forgive their parents, or not even the word forgive, but like reframe it so it's like not so I guess heavy. I don't know.
mm-hmm,
So yeah, that's just been on my mind too. So
mm.
yeah, I hope that you find some compassion
I want
because
to find
the
compassion in my
people
heart
that
for
are
these
like
people.
people that are experiencing it, like the whatever, like we are, I feel like are finding some compassion because we know it comes from trauma. Like I'm gonna send you this interview, but yeah, so yeah, I this is a super deep conversation. We didn't even get to talk about anything else, but
I mean, I love having these, and this is the beauty of like
I wanted
having.
to talk about Doja Cat at Coachella because
Oh
she
my
was so
gosh, I didn't
amazing.
see it, but I'm like, I've been
I've
seeing a
just
lot of
seen the
clips.
clips.
Same, I've
Yeah,
been seeing
she
a lot of clips.
just is. She fucking
Wait,
killed
wait,
it.
hold on. This is like, well, like, let's just talk for like 5 more minutes. I just wanted to hear this, talk about this.
Okay.
So, like, I just have a lot of thoughts on like Normani. Like, I know she put a snippet out again of the song she's gonna release, and I'm just kind of like, this is the thing. I love you, Normani. I think you are the next it girl. I really wish that like she had a better team behind her. For 4 months ago, sorry, maybe it was 3 months ago, for her to first drop that she has an album coming, then no promo or anything. A month later, say I'm gonna have a song out in 2 months, and then to randomly once every 6 weeks or 2 weeks, like drop a snippet. I'm just like, this is terrible, terrible promo for your debut album. You should be doing this classic by the book for your debut album. And then secondly, because it's just like you want the traction, you want the excitement. And then
Mm-hmm.
secondly, for the snippet to be sound, and I'm not trying to be mean,
I
but
don't
it's
know
just
why
like,
the girls are playing snippets.
right,
Beyonce doesn't play us a snippet.
exactly. But I think she did
She
that
puts out.
because it's been so long since she said the song was coming that she has to like put it back in the like discourse that like Normani's
I'm
coming.
like, but
But
my
this
thing
is
is
like,
like,
I just want to finish this point.
is the
My la-
companies doing this though, or is it them? Because
It
I'm
might be both, but
confused.
my thing is this: the song sounds like a very any other R&B song that I've heard. I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm just saying like so far the snippet gave like your classic R&B song, and I'm just like, Normani, you're coming out in a day and age where people are being innovative with their music. We're just coming off the heels of Renaissance. We're going into Cowboy Carter. Eternal Sunshine with Ariana Grande, people have been saying is her best work and the most experimental work she's ever done. Yes, and it's like also kind of dancehall-y. We're coming in a time now where people are pushing like the limits on what genre and what they can do. And the fact that you come out after years of never having a debut album, for finally it to come and you're doing a classic R&B song as your first single, I just feel sad because I just feel like it's not gonna soar in the way that it could. Like I feel like when Wild Side came out, it was a cultural reset moment. It was a different feel of R&B music that we have heard in a long time. And then the visual to go with it, iconic. I was expecting that level of work. And this song, 159, whatever it's called, is just like
Mm-hmm.
very it to me there was no innovation. It was just very your classic R&B, and I'm not saying it's a bad song, but I'm just saying it sounds like a song I've heard before.
Yeah, I heard that clip that you sent me. I felt like that's what I was just looking for. I was like, I thought like I heard another clip that I was like, oh, okay. And then you sent me that one and I was just like, oh. And I'm like, did I see another clip?
No, it was just a
But
different part of the song.
if it
Like,
was a
what you
different
boy,
part of the
what you
song,
gonna do with it? You talking about that one?
oh yeah.
But
See that
again,
part I
that
wasn't
sounds
that
normal.
I felt like it had enough difference to be like, oh, like what's this album gonna sound like? Like I didn't get straight up like, okay, like the same song. In that clip that you sent me,
Boy, what
yes,
you
I
gonna do with
didn't.
it? I feel like I've heard that lyric before. I'm not trying
I
to be rude, but
mean,
it's like everyone's talking about it. Like, oh,
I
what you gonna do with
know.
this? Like everyone's talking about
I know,
that.
but if you're doing it in a creative way, like I feel like Beyonce's still like talking about, you know,
Let the
bouncing on
do
it.
go.
Like she's still talking
Bounce
about
on the shit dance. That's
she just
different.
I know, but she might be. I feel like I still was like, oh, is this? I felt a little bit experimental, but I'm gonna go back and look at Normani's page and see if she put out more than
I'm
that.
just
But
praying that it's just like
at least we have
different.
Victoria Monet and
Yes.
Doja Cat for now
Yes.
because they
Yes.
fucking killed that shit. Like I feel like we cannot overlook like they're giving us really amazing performances
Absolutely.
at this height and
Absolutely.
giving Beyonce something to be inspired
Absolutely.
by.
And I just want to say, Victoria Monet, I'm so proud of you because just earlier this year at the VMAs, this year's VMAs,
Right.
they told you were too up and coming
Right.
and too new
They
to
had
come to the
no idea what they
VMAs.
were
And
saying.
they look at God. You literally got Grammys after that. You are one of the main events for Coachella.
Yep.
You have your flowers from Beyonce.
Yep.
Like
We're all proud of
literally,
you.
you have made them eat
They
their
are eating their
fucking words.
words. Yes.
Jinx. No. And so
They
I
are
just,
eating their
yeah,
fucking words.
you're right. We do have like amazing talent, and Normani, you are also an amazing talent, and I just want
Normani,
you to come correct.
I pray that what I heard is gonna be what it's gonna be because I really do. I'm like, we can do this. Like, you see the girls, like it's your time. So I'm gonna say I'm still very hopeful and excited. So I hope that I don't get let down.
Well, let's wrap it up. Remember to email us your suggestions for if you want to talk about anything for Who's on Trial at our email. Go ahead and say our email, Samantha.
I'm like, what's our email, Alexis? I'm the tech behind this
Go ahead.
podcast, people. I'm like, what's our email, Alexis?
She is the glue that keeps it all together.
Our email is whoamitojudgepod@gmail.com. Super easy. And we can't wait to see you guys next week. Share it with your friends, y'all. We're definitely trying to grow our audience right now. And we know this subject was deep and we love y'all. And so just resource yourselves and take care of yourselves.
And women, stand up. Goodbye.
Bye. Thank you so much for listening. Remember to email us your discussion topics at whoamitojudgepod@gmail.com. Also, remember to subscribe to Who Am I to Judge podcast on Spotify and everywhere you get your podcast. If you love us, please rate us and review. And if you don't, leave us alone. Tell a friend to tell a friend. See y'all next week. Bye, friends.